Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and we are back at it again, folks. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is Wednesday, so you know what that means. It means another AEW Dynamite live stream, watch-along, watch party. Call it what you will, but it's going to be a good one. It's a holiday bash, more Continental Classic, more to get into, more rumors, more news, more free agents popping up. Lots to talk about here in the wrestling world. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good. We're in the holiday feels. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We're back at it and ready to go, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is Wednesday. This is AEW Dynamite. We got a fun one ahead for everybody out there tonight. Lots going on. Lots to talk about. The Continental Classic is winding down. The last few matches of the round robin. We'll find out who moves on to the semifinals. Of course, one of the big matches tonight, Jay White, Jon Moxley, and so much more. Not to mention all the wrestling rumors out there. Now, I will remind everybody, get in there, click the like, click the subscribe, be a part of the family, enjoy all the live streams. We are the channel that just covers more live wrestling than anybody else out there and doing it at another level. Why, thank you for joining us. I hope everyone out there is well. I hope your holiday or your Christmas week is going phenomenally. And we got more to come all the way up until pretty much Christmas Day, folks. So make sure you are ready to go. I see the chat filling up. I will say hello in a couple minutes. But yes, the wrestling kicks off in about 11 minutes, according to my clock. And we'll do a little bit of chatting before we get to the actual show. But let's just recap and look at, let me pull it up real quick, what we got going on here tonight. But yes, lots going on. It should be a fun one. A stacked night ahead of us. I will remind everybody out there, I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, sometimes every day. But I am the man that just will not go home, keeps coming back for more. And I am looking forward to this one. Again, the last couple weeks here on Dynamite, the card looks good. On paper, it looks good. We're curious about what we're going to get from the show. And I would argue the last couple Dynamites didn't really deliver. But lots of buzz out there, lots of news going around, especially with AEW. The WWE releases are free agents as of tonight at midnight, I believe. So lots to talk about that. I know some people thought it might be last week or next week, but no, it's literally today. So lots going on there. Of course, we're still talking about the TV rights deal and so much more. But again, I will say thank you for joining me here tonight. And we will see what we have on tap. Like I said, it should be a good one. I'm really hoping it delivers. What do we got? Roderick Strong versus Komander. Interesting. A guy with neck issues going up against Komander's interesting. Swerve Strickland taking on Roosh in a Continental Classic match. Riho taking on Saraya for a #1 contender spot. Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal, the battle of the basement in the Continental Classic. And of course, Jon Moxley and Jay White. Jon Moxley is looking to make it a clean sweep. Can Jon Moxley go undefeated in the round robin? Probably, because that's Jon Moxley. But we will see very shortly around here. I'm going to take a moment right away. Not going to waste any time. Let's get into it. Damien says, TK is about to sign Riddick Moss, Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali to AEW contracts. Well, here's the thing. I'll talk about it more, actually. I'll get into a ramble about that in a second there, Damien. Victor's in the house. Mick, I'm here. Yes. Welcome. Ronnie, it's good to see ya. Merry Christmas to all and to all. A fun show. What's up? Victor, good to see you after a while, man. I hope you're doing well. Let's do this. That's the sentiment. That's the idea. Larry Mack is back with us. Good evening. Mick, just all the hellos. Yo, what's up, Paul? How are you? How are you? How are you? Eric Tate, it's good to see you here tonight. It's going to be a fun one. Trey's back with us. Bobby, I see you. I hope you're doing well, sir. C Money, what funny stuff do you have for us tonight? Looking forward to Lethal and Briscoe. Listen, I'm looking forward to this match. I think Briscoe's actually going to take the win, but I do think that these two gentlemen, after going pretty much for blanks across the board, are looking to put on a show tonight. So I'm excited for this because I'm a fan of both guys. I think Mark Briscoe is being undersold, underused, underutilized. Lethal, I think, has a lot of veteran talent. To me, he could kind of fit into that Dolph Ziggler gatekeeper kind of role where he gets in there, has really good matches with up-and-coming talent. Unfortunately, he's a little more of a comedy gimmick right now, but this match should cook. What up, Boston? Good to see you again, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's up, AJ? I think I got Trey, but just in case, he was saying hello to Boston. Jake, the aerial assassin. Not Jake, the tribal chief, but Jake, the aerial assassin. What's up? How you doing, my friend? Paul Carpenter. I'll talk about this as well, but yeah, a little surprised that Riho and Saraya are the ones that are competing. To me, this speaks to a bigger problem. Howdy, buddy. What's up, brother? Fluff Salisbury. Good to see ya. Hope you are doing well. Where's Nick? It's Wednesday, so Nick is only here on special Wednesdays. So right now, I hope he is doing well with wifey, hanging out, enjoying the holiday season, taking a little breath. He should be back here on stream tomorrow. We're probably going to see Mr. Nick. So make sure you come back and say hi to Nick then. Dun, dun, dun. Who needs Nick when we got Mick? Damien, what's the main event? I'm assuming that Jay White and Moxley will be the main event, but you never know with Tony. You really just don't know. When viewership is calculated, our DVR numbers included, I will tape SmackDown and watch later, but I watched. Honestly, Mulder, welcome back. I'm not sure how that works out if they count a recording as somebody watching. Technically, probably. I mean, it feels like I don't know. I'm thinking maybe. Dun 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 dun. All right, let's go back up. Let's go back up, and we'll talk about this real quick. The signings. Now, here's the interesting part. A lot of rumors out there. A lot of people speculating who's going to go where. I mean, there's a lot of rumors about TNA. TNA's teasing signings. TNA's clearly throwing some money around right now. They tried to get Osprey. You've seen them lock up some of their own talent. They brought back Kushida in an official capacity. So here's the dilemma, and we've seen this before in wrestling. The WWE lets talent go. Tony is struggling right now to book all the talent he does have and do it well. So if you sign a Riddick Mox, if you sign a Dolph Ziggler, a Mustafa, if you sign Boogs, what do you do with the influx of talent? What do you do with all those bodies? How do you get them all in there? How do you utilize everybody you want to bring in? If you're just signing them to sign them, great. But and we'll also talk about Sasha Banks here tonight because that's an interesting story. Kind of how it's always been. People are reporting it like it's brand new news, which is fair. They want the clicks. But at the end of the day, I think that, Tony has to have a plan. You have current people on your roster not being used or utilized. So what does that mean for them if you start bringing in WWE talent, especially if it's not main event talent? Like, I understand bringing in somebody or signing somebody like an Osprey who you see in your main event picture long term. You think they're going to be there for you at the top of the card. They're going to move the needle. But if they're just support guys, then what? Like, I mean, what do you do with them? That's my concern. Is great. I mean, would Dana Brooke? You got Aaliyah out there. Well, I mean, the NIL talent that got released, I don't really think much is going to happen with that. But yeah, would Dolph help AEW? Yes. Would Dolph help coming in and doing matches with, fucking nobody or down in the bottom of the card, just, doing what Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe are doing right now? Probably not. And they're not going to help. So I think that would offer some caution. I think also the fan base, if I was one of those tribal AEW fans, like I've been watching from the beginning, but if I know what AEW is supposed to be, bringing in a whole bunch of outside talent doesn't work for me. I wouldn't be a big fan of that. I don't know how I would advocate for that, as I would want to see more of the current talent being used better. I want to see more Wardlow. I want to see more Hobbs. I want to see more Mark Briscoe. I want to see guys that I think you already have in house that could be booked, billed, and worked better. And that to me, again, you sign a bunch of influx of talent, you just end up ruffling feathers in your locker room. You risk mixing up the chemistry because again, you got a bunch of people not getting onto your TV, which is ultimately what the goal is. So very interesting situation there. I do think TNA, I think Dolph going to TNA is a big deal. A guy like Boogs could probably do well in TNA. Moss, now see the thing about Moss going to AEW, I'm curious because Emma, Emma, Tennille Dashwood did really well with Impact. She was a really strong knockout. And if they stay together, could Moss go with Tennille back into Impact? Could they go to TNA? I think there's a lot of talent with Riddick Moss, but he's another guy. Like to me, Riddick Moss goes to AEW and gets used like Tony Nese, where they made, oh, look who we signed, the hottest free agent out there. And then what? He floats around Ring of Honor, doesn't really, find relevancy. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one, Damian. I don't know how that plays out, but I'm definitely curious on how they do it. Back to Paul. Now, this one I said out loud last week. It's still bothering me. To me, this situation with Riho and Saraya speaks to how poorly the women's division is being booked. Saraya was handed a championship because they were going to be at Wembley. They were going to be in her hometown. You get a heel with a babyface moment. It didn't make a lot of sense. She hadn't been booked well. She hasn't wrestled well. There's nothing from Saraya where we're like, we need more Saraya on this show. But there is no time given to the women's division. We just watched NXT on this channel last night, and what, 50 to 60% of the show was the women's division. There's a big highlight of the women backstage, in ring. The women have stories. The women have personalities. In this case, out of nowhere. And Rio's going to win. That's what bothers me even more is we know Rio's going to win, guys. She already beat Ruby. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't love it. But with all that being said, I got Swerve Strickland on my screen as we're kicking off the AEW Holiday Bash edition of Dynamite, folks. So if anybody wants to know where I'm at to sync up, right now I have Nana on stage with the Embassy coming out. And Nana's definitely swerving when he's driving. Done. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Lots of comments. We'll get some more of these comments as we're opening the show. It would help if I could hear what is going on particular. I honestly think that Swerve Strickland should drop the Mogul Embassy. I think it should just be Swerve and Nana. I think the other guys are just in the way. They're crowding. They don't really help him. Occasionally they get involved, but more times than not. But we're looking at the standings. Daniel Bryan at the top at 9. Interesting. So Swerve versus Roosh. If Swerve wins, he'll be at 12 points and pretty much clinch. No, actually, he will clinch. Now, I don't know what the tiebreaker is because if Roosh wins, he would also be at 9 points. If the tiebreaker is head-to-head, which it is in a lot of sports, then Roosh would technically move on and not Swerve. So Swerve will go to 12 points. Moxley's probably going to win to go to 15, and that's your 2. Now, I know a lot of people have been a little bit critical of the Continental Classic, not for the tournament style. We know why Tony did this. We know what his goal was here. Again, not really having I don't know what the word is, not having the best of wrestling minds, perhaps. You don't see a lot of foresight with Tony. And I think this tournament could have been booked better, organized better, have more people involved, more people potentially moving on than there is. You know, I mean, not everybody has to be in the mix. You can have a basement team or a basement wrestler, but at the same time, I think it could have been organized a little bit better. But Roosh coming out looking good, ready to go. Of course, he's with LGI, but LFI. What the hell did I just say? Dun, dun, dun. I don't want her back in the WWE, but WWE will still have to offer her new deals to people like Becky, Seth, Drew, and Sheamus. Offering large amounts to Sasha might not be in the cards. Renegotiate. All right, Richard. Here's the thing about this, and I know it's going around the Twitter sphere today about Sasha and Sasha's wanting, you know, big money, big money. She wants more money than they gave Charlotte Flair. But that was the story months ago. That was always the story with Sasha, where Sasha seems to value herself higher than others do. And when you have a hierarchy in a company like WWE, you're not going to get more than Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair's the queen. She's the figurehead of the whole division. She has been for over a decade or about a decade. And I'll quickly pause that thought and remind everybody we take a prediction on every match here. So who's going to win? Swerve, Roosh, who do you got? Who do you got? Who do you got? But yeah, no, that's my issue with Sasha is, and that's why she could end up in AEW. And that's why I always thought she would go to AEW, is Tony will overpay her and underuse her. I think it's a mistake because if you take less money from the WWE, you have more residual impact. You have more opportunity. You have a better platform. Therefore, you can prove yourself and long-term earn more money. But Tony will give her more money than the WWE is willing to give her. That's my honest opinion. I could be wrong. I have predicted that Sasha Banks will be back in the WWE. I have predicted that there's a good chance she'll be at the Rumble. But if her demands are too high, it's not happening. I got Swerve winning. All right. And Swerve's been on fire. Good start to this match already. Swerve's house, Swerve for the win. Roosh. Instantly get the riff in my head. Is Broke getting surgery? I'm trying to decipher. You're going to have to correct that. Swerve for the win. Yes. Swerve for the win. TJ Hook, how you doing? Easy Bake, welcome back. X Mulder, in case I haven't said it. What is going on with Britt? I have no idea. Again, another woman that's getting paid really good money from Tony Khan to not wrestle. I don't get it. And then when you talk about revenues and profits and all this good stuff, well, you would probably make more money as a company if you didn't have so many people getting paid to not be on your shows. KJ 100% drop those guys. Oh, Roosh with a little bit of a limp coming off the tope. And his legs already heavily bandaged. So, yeah, clearly. Okay, now. Yes, Mick, now. Now is the time. What's up, Jordan? How you doing? I appreciate it. I'm sure Nick does as well. Can you return? That is Vegas shit. WWE has a lot of money to pay Sasha Banks. What she's asking for Triple H would do. It's not about how much money do you have. It's how much money do you want to spend. And I did see there's this ongoing rhetoric out there that Endeavor, which their hands aren't in the cookie jar as much as people think it is. But Endeavor doesn't re-sign people. You know, you saw what Dana White and they let go. That's Dana White's choice. And Dana White, very similar to what you're going to see with Nick Khan in WWE, is Roosh flips the bird to the crowd, kicks Swerve in the face, and takes a little pose. But I think, that's a fallacy about Dana White. I think I would have got that one. Not wanting to re-sign athletes. They do not want to overpay athletes. And just because, and I know the concerns and a lot of rumors or stories about UFC not paying their fighters enough. Fine, ignore that. But if somebody is demanding more than the norm, they are probably not going to get re-signed. That doesn't mean there's a lot of wrestlers and fighters that have been re-signed, and they will continue to be re-signed. But it's about spending your money accordingly. It's about profits. It's about making money. And if you just give everybody everything they want, they're not going to get it. And if you feel like you're going to give Sasha a big contract and she won't live up to that big contract, then why would you do it? Right? Just pissing money away doesn't make sense. Maybe Triple H has coupons. Coupons. You got any coupons? Dolph Ziggler going to PR. Okay. Yeah, no. So I was just talking about that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, she's not going to get more money than Charlotte. She's not going to get more money than Becky. She's not going to get more money than Rhea Ripley when Rhea Ripley's due for a contract signing. So, yeah, my only fear for Sasha is if she's just going for the payday, Tony will give her the biggest payday, but will ultimately not be the best decision for her in ring or for her to showcase who she is. If she's now got to carry matches with, talent that isn't quite at that level, it's a tough question. That's the question I propose to everyone out there. More money, weaker content, weaker competition, less money, better stage, better content, better position. You need to start making cuts. Tony won't make cuts. And again, you look at all the talent in Ring of Honor. You look at all the talent like the Unos and the Dark Order who are still under contract. No offense to them. I don't wish anybody to lose their job. Everyone who's ever lost their job knows how fucking stressful and frustrating that is. I don't commend it. As we go into pitcher and pitcher, folks. But yeah, I mean, what do? I mean, you can't keep everybody. And if you look at, Dave Meltzer coming out about, they're going to make this much money this year. And then you see, WrestleNomics come out and say, yeah, but they're going to be, 35 million in the hole. That's a problem because you start looking at where are you spending your money. Tony loves spending his money on talent. That's great. But if you're just buying shit that doesn't turn into anything, then what's the point? What is the point? I do this, Emma and Dana going to Impact TNA while Dolph and Mustafa go to AEW. I really think Mustafa is going to go to AEW. Tony's going to give him good money, and I think it's a good fit, to be honest. I think you have really good opportunity. Mustafa, a high flyer, a high pace guy. There's a lot to match up with. I mean, even an Ali versus Swerve works. Ali versus any of the Lucha guys. There's a lot of opportunity. I think Mustafa fits in AEW. Dolph could too. Dolph will bring a level of professionalism. And the good thing about Dolph is you're going to get a good match out of him no matter what or whoever he's partnered up with. Riddick, Top Dollar. I don't know if anybody picks up Top Dollar. I mean, could Top Dollar just be a free agent? Like, is Scott D'Amore going to give top money to Top Dollar? I don't know. It's really curious. Maybe just some indie bookings, like you said. But we'll see. It'll be very interesting, especially heading into the new year, right? Like things might be a little quiet right now, especially with, we got tape shows going on and such. So we'll see. Whew. I disagree with Richard. Sasha Banks deserves to be paid as much as Charlotte. She is a mega star. She isn't, Damien. I'm sorry to side with Richard. She's not worth that money. She is not worth the same. She's good, and she brings her own fans. Like, there is a Sasha Banks fan base outside of wrestling fans of just, we like wrestling and Sasha's good at it. I love Sasha in the sense of she can go. Like, we've seen her have really good matches with Charlotte, with Becky. But to me, she's injury prone. Time and time again, she's out. You stop and start. She's not a great promo. And she's pretty good in the ring. Is she exceptional? I don't know. I think there's ladies in NXT that would give her a run for her money at this point in 2023, going into 2024. So, yeah, a mega star, throw mega bucks at her. I don't think so. I don't think Triple H sees it that way either. And I think the top of the chart is Charlotte. Becky, and then everyone else as far as pay scale goes. And now Rhea might have made a really good case for when she re-ups her contract. We're back to the action. Both men kick in the face, both men down. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's go. I do want her back in WWE. Now, yeah, like I agree with you, Richard, in the sense that I did predict her returning to the WWE. I really thought that this is going to make sense, but if she demands too much, they won't give it to her. People like Becky, Seth, Drew, Sheamus. I think I read that one. Sami Callihan is making his MLW return next month. That one's interesting because a lot of people talk about Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan's a good guy, good wrestler. Been a little controversial at times, but the interesting part is, AEW didn't jump on him. Tony didn't give him anything. WWE definitely, with his age and size and all the factors, I don't think WWE is interested in Sami. So him going to MLW, which to me, MLW is fluttering. Like, what's worse or what's in a worse position right now, MLW or NWA? They're both kind of in a pickle, and they're both kind of. So yeah, good on them. Dolph should go to New Japan for a little while. Interesting. How come? I wonder why you think that. Baruch got Swerve in the corner. Oh. Wow, the leg gives out. Let's go. WWE has a lot of money. Read that one. Saraya doesn't deserve another shot at the title right now. She's not going to get it, I don't believe. She hasn't won any singles matches since losing the belt. She hasn't been good in addition to that. It's not like she's doing really good backstage promos. And again, if you're trying to set up, like Toni Storm has something special going right now. And without viable, interesting talent against her, you got a problem. And Riho's not the answer either. Riho just comes back from injury, 2 matches, title shot. That doesn't work for me. I mean, put her in some other shit. Build her up. Give me a reason to give a shit about Riho. Oh, but KJ, she's a former champion. She should have been a champion then. Oh, the hook pile driver. And a big 2. Little sloppy. We saw Mox botch that last week. But a good start to this show, guys. Good energy out of the gate. Triple H isn't offering contracts. He recruits, but it's ultimately, yeah. So Nick Khan is the money guy. I know we say Triple H, but the creative, yes, they will figure that out, but it will be a matter of, and again, a guy like Triple H has a big say in, this is what it's worth, but it is a hierarchy, and there is a level of, just because we have the money doesn't mean we're going to give it to you. We pride ourselves on being profitable and successful. If you want all the money in the world, go to the company that has put friendship over business time and time again. No way Saraya wins. This is totally set for Riho versus Toni Storm at World's End. 100%. 100% already teased it, already got the vibe. I thought it was already happening. I thought her beating Ruby was enough for her to move on, but now, so you got to beat 2. It's not even, that's the weird part. It's not even 2 members of Toni Storm's faction. It is 2 former members of Toni Storm's faction to get to Toni Storm. It's a little bit of an odd situation. That beef stew is not sitting right in my stomach. What the Boston? Yeah. All right. I don't know what I'm supposed to get from that. I wish Tony just called it a tune-up match or a revenge match, as Saraya and the Outcasts disrespect Riho earlier this year, but it's a number 1 contenders match instead, which Saraya doesn't deserve. I'm with you. Again, and it just shows that there is a flaw in the booking of the women's division by Tony. I mean, they get their 5 minutes between 9 and 9:30 every week. That's it, and it's unfortunate. Swerve for the win. Swerve. I swerve when I cry. I like that, Paul. I like that. Just a reminder, folks, if I do miss your comment, we have the super chat, we have the super stickers, and we have the membership to help you stand out. do our best to click on as many of these little boxes as possible. Oh, Roosh from the top misses. Swerve up. 450. Roosh kicks out at 1. Says no. Now Roosh was favoring that leg. Oh! I like this. I like this. Front chancery. Into the brain buster. Swerve down. This time kicking out at 2. Swerve for the win. I'd like to see Britt cross over to the dub. Britt Baker is a star. When she was booked well and doing well, she is a star. She's had some backstage issues, and for whatever reason, it always seems like it's not her fault, it's others. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Britt Baker. I don't know why she's not being utilized. Stomp from the top. It's over. It's over. So Swerve goes 4-1 in the round robin, ties Jon Moxley with 12 points, currently tied for first, though Jon Moxley has a match coming up tonight. But I do believe this clinches Swerve to move on, right? Because he can't get knocked off right now. They're going to show the standings again. Yeah. So Swerve and Jon Moxley have clinched. So the Moxley match against Lethal. Oh, no, sorry, I lied. Jay White has a chance. There you go. Yeah, so Jay White, this match between Jay White and Moxley does matter. And my AEW coverage just went black. Did anyone else lose their stream there for a second? Not this, but that. Embassy needs to go to Ring of Honor. They are kind of in Ring of Honor more than they're on AEW, to be honest. So, yeah, I don't think Swerve needs them. And they don't really fit. Like, if you had pure heel Swerve and Brian Cage was kind of like his bodyguard, it works for me. But they don't really use it that way. So, meh. BCC tournament, yeah, pretty much. The Blue League still got a couple more matches to go. Garcia is toast. I don't know why they wouldn't put the rankings in numerical order. Yeah. Sasha Banks was one of the biggest draws in WWE when she was here, and one of the most popular women's wrestlers. She's a Triple H girl. Sasha Banks was Triple H's favorite to push. Or was it Bailey, Damien? And yes, I'm not saying that Sasha had no fanfare. One of the biggest draws might be a stretch for me. And I do believe that being in the ring with the other 4 horsewomen helped Sasha a lot. I think Sasha's ego got a little inflated. I'm not saying she's terrible. I just don't think she's as good as she thinks she is. And if she wants more money than Flair, it's not going to happen. Damn, even AEW action figures are a flop. Most of them are on $3 to $5 price range at the Ringside Collectibles. I had no idea, JV. Welcome back. Endeavor gave WWE a budget. Nick Khan makes the contract decisions. And apparently Nick Khan is willing to pay re-signees more money. It's Dana White that was cheap. Yeah, Dana's definitely the cheaper of the two. And again, it all, he's trying to be profitable as well. So I know he takes a lot of heat for that, and I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole. But right now I'm getting a Daniel Bryan promo. As up next, we're going to get Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe. As we head into commercial break, Swerve. Saraya doesn't deserve another shot at the title right now. She won. Yeah, I got that one. Holy high hell. I thought Swerve broke his neck. Yeah, man. There was a couple moments there. You always wonder that, right? The most ultimate signing of all time. Just imagine a cross-promotion draft, all superstars up for grabs. Well, EQ, as wonderful as that would be, to me, I think you want those individual identities. So, for fun to fantasy book, but at the end of the day, I do like 2 separate companies with 2 separate rosters. Triple H with pay her the money that she wants Triple H is not Vince McMahon. Yeah, Damien, you got to think it's in perspective, right? And Triple H is not going to go, well, I really like you. Here's more money than so-and-so. I know you want that, but I don't think so. And again, he's not the guy with he might have an influence on the money giver, but Nick Khan ultimately is the one who opens the wallet and pays it out. Nick Khan is the Al Bundy, if you will. Roche wins. Not tonight. And you knew he wasn't going to win. That's where, I feel like the Continental Classic lacked upsets, lacked surprises, lacked, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. So, yeah, and anybody think that Jay White's going to win? Jay White wins, he would technically bump Swerve out, I think, based on tiebreakers. I think. I don't know. WWE does have to look at Sasha as a whole. She draws and a household name in wrestling. She has crossover appeal, but she also walked out twice. She had significant leg injuries in her prime. I agree. And again, she's been, on The Mandalorian. I'm Snoop's cousin. I'm not saying that she shouldn't get paid. I just don't know that she should get paid more than certain people. That's it. If you told me she was the third, fourth highest paid woman on the roster, I'm okay with that. Maybe if anyone can sign with WWE, it could be a decision for Ted DB. Oh, Richard, that one's actually funny. Rush has no personality whatsoever. He's kind of like the Lucha Moxley to me. It doesn't really sell a lot. When he does, then it's like temporary selling. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little interesting for me, but every once in a while, I think he's a really good heel. He needs his manager to be more of a heel heater for him and warm that up, but we'll see. KJ White and Big Nick, what's up, Kevin? How you doing? As Jericho on the screen, the David Bowie of wrestling. Now this is where he's going to talk about needing a partner. Okay. Talking about Kenny being on the shelf. Indefinitely. So who's he going to win the tag titles with? They're going to get, I'm predicting the Spanish God, yes. Big up, we're getting claps. But yes, T's and P's to Kenny Omega. We hope he gets better. Huge loss for AEW. And, again, you feel bad for everybody involved, but you want to make sure he's healthy. Took a second to get to the cheers, though. Swerve. Okay. That was actually really nice. But I was really expecting him to. So are they not? Is that match just off the docket? That's interesting. As here comes Mark Briscoe. I really liked what Jericho just did. Really heartfelt, really touching. Again, we never want to see any of these athletes in a tough spot. And again, I've been open. Like I still got the bruise from the blood work I was getting pulled out of me the other day. Yeah, it's not fun when you're dealing with something, especially like this, because it's almost like you don't really know what's going on. You just think you're uncomfortable. You really don't feel well. So I can completely relate to Kenny Omega, and I feel bad for him. My heart goes out to him. I hope he gets better. I hope he comes back. And again, it's a huge loss for AEW. I was half expecting Jericho to say Kenny's out but I have another partner for the title match. So I wonder what will happen there. Gianni Flava, thank you so much for your generosity. We appreciate it. We really do. Again, every penny goes right back into the channel. It goes into all our subscriptions to keep everything afloat. So thank you for that. Warner Brothers and Paramount rumored to be merging. Yeah, this blew my mind when I read this today. Am I the only person out there that's just sick of mergers? Like, it just continues to water down everything that we have, and I think that's part of the problem is, when it comes to Disney and Warner and Paramount and all these companies, that every time there's other, we used to have a bunch of different companies that made stuff, and now they're all a byproduct of the big company that ultimately, I think it's part of, we talked earlier today when we did the WrestleMania watch along of a lack of creativity in the world. But I think because everything funnels through the, 3 or 4 places is partly why. But Sasha Banks is not a good promo. Shut up. She is an, my screen went blank again. Anybody else? Oh, we're back. Okay. Is anyone else's program going black every once in a while? I think Sasha's a good heel promo. I think she's not a good babyface promo, and I think she's not great overall. Damien's just like hell bent on convincing me otherwise. It would make streaming cheaper. Would it though? Would it? I don't know. Maybe it would. Jay Lethal for the win. What? Oh, chair. Too many monopolies. Exactly, right? Like, we saw what happened in wrestling when you got one company, even though there's, other brands under their umbrella, it's still one company at the end of the fucking day. And I think less and less and more monopolies is bad for business. Bad. Again, it's just, big chunks of the world are owned by like 9% of the companies and businesses. And yeah, I'm not getting into all that bullshit today, but you get it. Loomis is the devil, right? Jericho looking for a partner. I thought he would touch more on that, but apparently not. I want this, Juice. I'm with you. Welcome back, buddy. But yes, I want Tony Khan to be the double just because I think it'd be hilarious. I'm in. Do it. Shock me. Surprise me. I will pop if Kenny and the Bucks are the double. Listen, there's a couple things there. One, I don't think so because I truly believe Kenny's not well. If it happened to turn around that they were, and like the Kenny thing was a ruse, that would be in poor taste, and somebody would definitely owe me an apology. At least one person. Where are the Bucks? The Bucks are taking a sabbatical because nobody likes them. The Bucks are taking a break because they don't get the pop they used to. People aren't interested in their shit. They haven't done anything of note. They haven't done anything of substance. They are about as irrelevant as fucking Maximum Male Models. Like, they honestly, someone out there tell me the last time the Bucks were involved in something that was cool, that you really, I can't wait to see the Bucks next moment. It's been a long time. And the whole bullshit with not dropping the belts and then going to the trios division and then shitting on the trios division because that was non-existent. The Bucks haven't done fuck and all. I'll die on that hill. Bailey is better than Sasha. Oh, not even close. It's not even a close race. I'll die on that hill with you, my friend. Yes, Bailey makes Sasha better. Charlotte makes Sasha better. Becky makes Sasha better. No offense. And we saw it, in moments when she was doing her New Japan, like the little botchy moments. And that's what I think. If in a perfect world for me, Sasha Banks goes to AEW. And then I think we'll see. Now, if Sasha's the star that people think she is, she'll draw money, she'll sell tickets, and she'll deliver good matches. If she is what I think she is, she will draw a little bit of money. She'll bring some eyes. Ultimately, her matches and her in-ring work and her promos will fail. Hello, Kevin. KJ, I'll take Sasha over Bailey every day of the week. Yeah, I can't go there with you. I can't. Bailey's awesome. Bailey's a pro. Bailey's done extremely good things. I know there's some mixed reviews on Judgment or Damage Control, but Bailey is outstanding. I don't think she should be underestimated. And as far as a worker goes, it's not a fair comparable in my opinion. From what I've seen over the years, Bailey's a much better wrestler, a much better promo, and she's got more notes. She's got more tools in her toolbox than Sasha. Blackout. Okay, so I'm not the only one. I thought I was fucking tripping out. As we got a tope from Lethal followed by a strut. Where's Keyshawn? Having all the Jeff Jarrett moments here. Yeah, I can't. We're talking about Sasha a lot tonight. Maybe there's something to this. There you go. And again, if she's your cup of tea, she's your cup of tea. I'm not saying that you're wrong. My perspective and my opinion isn't anything but that. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? Welcome back. So, no, I'm not going to read the first part. She seems bratty. I agree. Jealous of Alexa Bliss. That's the thing, right? You have Liv Morgan. You have Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss passed her by, was getting booked more, was getting more title shots. Yeah, Sasha basically walks out of the company because she didn't see the value, and there wasn't much, to her credit, in the women's tag. Well, if we're going to be in the women's tag, she did it twice. The 2 times that she had the women's tag titles, she didn't want to be a part of the company. Yeah, it's not good. She treats her fans like dirt. I don't know about that part, JV. I'll take your word for it. I know she's got a bit of an attitude. And I'll leave the last part of that alone. Warner Brothers and Paramount rumored merge. Got that one. Sammy. Yeah, right? Sammy. Bring back the Golden Gods, or what the fuck were they called? Sasha Banks is my favorite member of the 4 Horsewomen. I've been a Charlotte Flair fan because Vince McMahon pushed Charlotte Flair too much. Yeah, and I get that. A lot of people have that opinion about Charlotte, but Charlotte is on a different level. She's going to go down as one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT. She did get pushed hard. She did get pushed a lot. Vince and his lazy old man booking probably could have booked her better. But again, there's a reason. And this last little run before Charlotte got hurt, I thought they did a good job of keeping her close to the title, but not constantly after the title. We let other people have championships without Charlotte walking in and stomping on it. We felt that way about other athletes that would just come in and win the title instantly. I get that criticism, I do. But as far as athleticism overall, and I actually don't think Charlotte's a great promo either. I don't think she's a great babyface promo, but Charlotte's, in my humble estimation, Sasha is the weakest of the 4. Where are the Bucks? We got that one. Chair, I'm going to skip that. It's funny, though. I joked that, Kenny went to the hospital to get away from Jericho. Tony Khan is the devil. Saw a photo on YouTube of a kid wearing a John Cena cap, happy to open his Christmas present, but cries because Fight Forever and his parents and grandmother laughed, lifted their middle finger. Mark for the win. Jericho's looking for a partner. Okay, we'll figure that out. Loomis. I guess there's no tag title match or a contender match, as Jericho getting a new partner feels very short notice. Yeah, but I mean, in AEW, we're in picture, by the way. The way it's been in a lot of cases, guys, is that, yeah, Jericho would just find a new partner and would keep moving forward. So I don't know what's happening. I assume that's eventually going to be the thing. But I will say this. I give Jericho a ton of shit. That little spot and Tony giving him that spot to offer T's and P's out to Kenny, I really liked it. I thought it was heartwarming. I thought it was solid. Seemed heartfelt. This will be the match that ties. As we got There you go. Lethal with the combo. Down goes Briscoe. And the finger in the air. Little bit of machismo. Too many monopolies. Got that one. Reach for the pie. Always reach for the pie. I like it. All right, let's talk it. What's the favorite pies out there, folks? Let's talk some pie. This damn. Instantly think of Dust Till Dawn. If you get that reference, you're a friend of mine. This should be a really good match too. Yeah, and I mean they talked about burning it, burning it down because they are mathematically eliminated. But KJ it would make streaming cheaper. Again, I don't know if that's true, but I'll take your word for it. I just feared for my life. AEW went black. It's gone black a couple times. Don't be scared, guys. We'll okay. We can buddy up if you're afraid of the dark. We'll get through this. Oh, drop kick through the ropes. Briscoe out onto the floor. Jay Lethal. Now we got a chair. The ref says you can't use it. He goes, I'm not. I love Mark Briscoe, guys. I really love Mark Briscoe. I've been over. Like, for me, if this was for the IC title, or the TNT title, I'd be so into this. Yet it's just a nothing match because they're out. With the Warner Brothers Paramount merger happens, wonder what that means for both WWE and AEW. Yeah, and that's an interesting thing because you even think about, originally when AEW comes on the scene and they sign with Warner Brothers, it wasn't Warner Brothers Discovery at the time. That merger happened after, right? So things change. And we saw it with Ted Turner, that when things change, the people in the room change, and the people in the room might have a difference of opinion. Oh, Death Valley Driver? Up top he goes. We're looking for the elbow. All right, Jason, I'm not alone. Welcome back, Jason. Good to see ya. Mark for the win. The screen went black twice. Have them blame it on the devil. Yeah, not blame the devil, not shoddy production. Gotcha. You think this one's going to go a 20-minute draw? Okay. As I'm getting a reminder, March 3rd, Sting's final match from the Greensboro Coliseum. Going for lethal injection. Nice. Mark flips him. Both men look like what? Oh. High suplex. The streaming will get more expensive, but the tiers will be lower. Yeah, I could see that more likely. Right? Like, I know some of the streaming services, like even like some of the sports streaming services here, you used to sign up for like TSN Plus, and that got you extra shit. That, Sportsnet Plus got you like would get you the WWE and stuff. Now they've added like Plus, and now only certain things. So it's all going that way. Eventually, there's going to be a drawback for all of this, though. People will just keep finding ways to get it for free. TBS. You were right. Too many monopolies, less creativity. It drives me nuts. Right? Because when you try and do something outside of the norm, when you push the envelope, the same people are responsible for making the decisions. The funnel, the buck stops at the same place, and it doesn't work. That's why we get so many fucking bullshit repeats and remakes. Wow. A J Driller from Jay Lethal. 2. What the hell's going on? Dynamite keeps going black. Oh, it's McMahon fucking with them. Mark should get this win. I think it might go to a draw. Someone else said it. I mean, that's a good bet. I mean, fucking funny. You know what? You guys never win. You're not going to win tonight either. Oh, we had a moment there. Got a little clunky. Caught him on the lethal injection a second time. And up he goes. There's a Death Valley Driver. Richard Martinez. Hey, hey, KJ. With Charlotte out, what is Bianca's path to Mania? Is Jade ready? I don't know about Jade's readiness yet. I've kind of There it is. Mark Briscoe with the win off the J Driller. There you go. There you go. So no draw. But yeah, great match. That's 2 good matches tonight. And this one was better than the first one. So the last and final match, Jay White taking on John Moxley, and that will conclude the Gold League's round robin. Jay White can get in, or Jay White can get out. That's how it is. And some love between Lethal and Mark. Monopolies never make things cheaper. Haven't you ever? Exactly. WWE must have signed Warner Brother contract as they cut off TBS feed. Enough of this shit. We can't do it. We're out. But I'm happy to see Mark Briscoe get a W. Mark Briscoe's too good to be a jobber. And again, I know he made his name as a tag team guy, but he's great with the microphone. He's great in the ring. He puts his heart and soul into it. And AEW, sorry, we're just going to MJF's Jewish Sports Hall of Fame induction. There you go. Yeah, I think Mark Briscoe deserves more. I think he's got so much talent that, yeah, I don't like him being billed as a jobber. I don't know where I was going with that. I got distracted by MJF. He is all about himself enough to be the devil. We'll see. But KJ, the Bucks did an exploding shoe. Yeah, fuck, right? And they did a thumbtack shoe, and they did another shoe, and then Moxley and Eddie stole their shoes. Yeah, well, again, they do not move the needle. They are not interesting. They're not compelling. All their storylines have been childish. They're not who they say they are. They're guys that, and I think that's where the people that haven't bought into AEW and where Tony says, we're getting picked on. I don't think you're getting picked on. You're setting yourself up to be fairly criticized, because if the Bucks were one of the best tag teams ever, they would have just shown up and shown out. And people would have said, holy shit, look at these guys. They're amazing. Never seen them before. What have I been missing? If Jericho was having a career year, the best of his life, people would see that. If AEW Dynamite or the pay-per-views were on a tear, you don't have to tell us. It's that old saying, right? Like, the best never has to brag, because they speak with their actions. And when they put their fucking actions down, you see them for what they are. And I think where a lot of the drawback against Tony and the company has been, I just watched something, I can see with my own 2 eyes what it was, and you're telling me it wasn't that. You're telling me it was way better. And if I don't get it, I'm stupid, or I don't understand wrestling. That's been the issue. It's, you either see it our way or you're wrong. And the Bucks aren't in the top 10 of tag teams of all time. They're not top 10 of the tag teams in the last 20 years. They're good. They were mid-card tag teams and tag team. They were a mid-card tag team in New Japan. They were never the guys, at the top of the bill. There was always Kenny's and such. And now they just come off like grown-ass men acting like kids. When Worlds and pay-per-view, and the devil himself, Tony K, will peer pressure MJF into signing a new deal. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with this, folks. And if you want to talk about that while we're on commercial break, I see this chat. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I like it. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, no, you gotta give Mark some love. Mark is wicked. I thought when he returned, maybe you didn't want him to be world champion right away, but over the last little while, like the fact that you didn't just hit, like, he didn't go after the Ring of Honor championship and have this really big moment of him, like, yeah, I think that was a missed opportunity. I really do. I think there was so much love. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier, is AEW to me lacks character, lacks authenticity at times. We're just talking about the Bucks where they're playing and acting and mad about their friends. I think Briscoe brings an authenticity that lacks. And that's what I would love to see more of. We talk about it with like Tony Storm's unique and has a gimmick. Swerve is just authentically getting over. That's where I'm at with this. Dutch apple. Big fan of Dutch. Classic apple, good choice. Big fan of apple pie. Now, I was going to answer something before that. I'm all over the place. Too much coffee and vitamins. Bailey is the best of the 4 horsewomen, in my opinion. A valid argument can be made for any one of the 4. It really can. KJ, Sasha carried Bailey during the pandemic. That's undisputed. Oh, it's disputed, my friend. No. I could be the other way around, in my humble opinion. Again, I don't see it. I don't see it, Steve. But we're back with Wardlow. Oh, this one. MJF. Yeah, so MJF comes out and says, I never lied. I haven't re-signed. I still don't believe him. Now, why is he saying it? I don't know if it's just for the buzz, the excitement potentially. Does it work in a storyline? But they already kind of did the storyline. Remember when he quit and demanded more money and then we had to wait and see what he was going to do? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But ultimately, I believe that he is signed. And again, if he signed for 2-3 more years, he's still young when that comes up. And maybe this is just him building his equity. My only fear for MJF, if that's his plan, is that he risks not being as valuable as he is now. And maybe not because of him, maybe because of his booking, maybe due to injury. It is a risk. I like Maximum Male Models. It was a modern day Bill and Chuck. Bill and Chuck was miles. I get what they tried to be that. It just never came through, and it didn't work. Bill and Chuck got opportunity and did well with it. But now we're going back to Adam Page being laid out by the masked man and his peeps. Joe. And we never did get that tag match that MJF and Joe were supposed to be in. I was waiting for Vince to show on my screen and say, I purchased AEW. Yeah, that's a funny thing, right? But listen, Tony's got a private company. He's got all the money in the world backing it. He ain't selling that. He's not selling that for nothing. But we'll wait. We'll wait and see. One day, Shad sits him down and says, it's got to go. Funnier things have happened. Ask Dixie Carter what happens when your money dries up. Oh, did I miss King? Shout out to King, who's in the house. The Bucks needed to go away as them as baby faces got really stale. Them as baby faces got stale. Them as heels got stale. Them being in the company was stale. They are stale. And if they come back, they better have a fucking plan. And I want to see, again, grow up. Like, a lot of your audience is adult. I want to see adult problems. I want to see adult issues. I want to see a team that's mad because they're getting overlooked or someone's getting more TV time. Not this, you don't hang out with me anymore. We're not friends, and this isn't fair. And I thought you were my friend. Fuck off. I'd love to see Sasha in AEW, but the booking wouldn't improve in time. She would be the head of that division. She should walk in and get the title if she goes to AEW. Instantly to the top. But then you have to book that division better. The women need time. But we got Joe on the screen, by the way. If you didn't get that by me going Joe, but 2-0, 2-0. Briscoe wins. Yes, he did. 2-0. Going to try and catch up on some of these real quick because I'm so fucking long-winded. Better be money because fuck. Dave Meltzer said there's too many storylines in AEW. The fuck? Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer's. I almost said something that would get me in a lot of trouble. Dave Meltzer's dumb. Period. Dumb. If he did say that, I mean, he's dumb for other reasons. Too many storylines. Jesus Christ. This guy fucking reading coloring books. Smile Mark, what's up? It's so far so good on AEW. I mean, the first hour for me, and I don't know what you guys think, the first hour went fast. 2 solid matches, in my opinion. And here comes Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And Joe's got a little bit of a buzz cut going on. I still can't believe Mox went over Swerve last week. It's fucking dumb. Dumb. Again, I don't care. Oh, but his shoulder was still up, and that's going to tie in. Then do it the other way around. Swerve pinned Mox, but Mox's shoulder was still up, and play that into an angle. But this does feel like the BCC tournament. Paul, I'm not clicking that. But it is a very good form of pie. Yeah, I will agree. Right up there with Dutch. Punk had to put Mox over first before he got his win back. Guaranteed Swerve is getting the same treatment. 100% with you, buddy. But Maxwell in the house. See what he has to say. Joey Samoa. Samoan Joseph. It's kind of good if it's kind of a callback match of when they tribute to Jay last year. Facts. It was a really good match. I really did enjoy the match. I thought it was going to go a draw. Mark picks up the win. I love when Mark wins. I'm such a huge fan. Obviously, you know, I was a huge fan of the Briscoes. I'm a huge fan of Mark. I think Mark kind of played the number 2 or the 1A role when Jay was around, but there's so much there. And I mean, from all reports, I've heard many people tell the fact that Mark Briscoe is a certified genius. Like, he's super smart, right? Like, he knows what's going on. And he plays his role so well, and he's authentically him. MJF, Mock, and Joe. Brian Last said he heard from backstage talent that Tony is always on his phone during the shows in Gorilla. Yeah, he's watching fucking Twitter, making sure people how Twitter feels about shit. Right? He's having Twitter battles with Disco Inferno instead of, you know, making better booking. Oklahoma. Where's JR? I thought JR was going to be on the show tonight. They're just going to bring him out for the main event, maybe? Now, MJF's... so Joe accuses Max. Max accuses Joe. Briscoe should be in an icy hot. Oh, the man puts himself through hell. Still bum Sting versus Undertaker never happened or even Shawn Michaels versus Sting. Yeah, you know what, Mark? We talked about this morning a little bit doing the WrestleMania recap or rewatch. And I mean, again, it's unfortunate we didn't get them in their prime, right? Prime Sting, prime Undertaker would have been great. But at sometimes I think what you get may never live up to what we hoped it would be. And under the, you know, you'd almost Undertaker's going to go over because he's WWE guy. Yeah, it's tough, but it would have been nice to if there was like a program, an angle with them too. I think it would have worked out really well. But I also had no problem with Punk going over Mox. Money. Punk was a top merch mover and draw. Oh wait. Oh, the masked men are back. There's a lot of them. It's the Dark Order all over again. So are these guys actually in the group? And each and every one just got chucked the fuck out. So Samoa Joe and MJF start fighting with each other. They clear house and more masked men. They are honestly the Foot Clan. Teenage Mutant Ninja Joey. What is happening? So are these 4 guys the actual guys? What is going on? And the lights are out. I wonder if it's on purpose this time. Oh! What's happening? The masked man on the screen. Boo. Here comes more typing. Where can you go? Where did you go? Who can you trust? According to Austin, nobody. Next week, will you accept a challenge? Last time they accepted your challenge, you didn't show up. Wait, we're doing it again. We're running it back. Ring of Honor World Titles next week. Are you a hero, Max? I can be your hero, Joey. I can take away your pain. What is happening? So again, we had about 12 foot soldiers come running out, and now they're being challenged to yet another Ring of Honor tag team match. Joe accepts. So the match we were supposed to get 2 weeks ago apparently is happening next week. We beat his boys' asses. Yes, JR's main event. Thank you. Interesting. How long will Max go on here? Not long. It actually wasn't as long as it has been in the past. Does anyone else feel like there's a bit of with this of like running it back? You challenge them to a tag match. They accepted. That match didn't happen. We're 2 weeks removed from that, and now we're running it back again. The exact same thing. Oh. Well, we got the best friends. Rocky Ramiro's here. Talking about Bounty Hunter Brian Keith. Stat looking good. Regular apple pie. There you go. It's the Putty Patrollers. The Putty Patrollers. I like it. They're the Foot Soldiers to me, man. The Foot Clan is in the house. There you go. So Rocky talking about being the CMLL welterweight champion. You got to have vanilla ice cream with, oh, absolutely. A warm piece of pie, a nice, cool scoop of ice cream. OC just says yes. So on Rampage, Rocky versus OC. And now it's Timeless Tony Storm. Whew. Sting, I think, is being talked about more than he was. I think I'll leave that alone. Aces and eights striking. Where's Nick when I need him? Aces and eights. It's got that vibe. Like, it really does. He's not wrong. It's so hard to ignore. But, yeah, so 8 men come running out. Joe and they get chucked all over the place. 4 additional guys, which I think is the group that we're going to run with. And then the double back on the screen. Not typing this time. It's weird. Again, usually there's like, if you start with typing, then the next message will be typing. I guess, again, Tony watching too much of the criticism, it wasn't. It was just flashing words this time. It's inconsistent. And here comes Saraya, who I still think looks amazing, but not good at wrestling anymore. For the love of God, and these double mask storyline, please. World's End. I wanted it over at Full Gear. And this is why, because the storytelling is clunky. It's kind of odd. Sanitizer hand wash. Okay. Dang, how many double henchmen are there? It's like the fucking Dark Order. You guys remember the early day embarrassing Dark Order? Is Wardlow and all of these goons. Again, we got a Wardlow package and then the double. We can tie them together. Again, to me, Wardlow's not a guy that hides behind a mask and plays tricks. Wardlow's a big powerhouse that just fucks shit up. He's the Hulk, not, fucking Tony. Or he's not Iron Man. He's not methodical. He's not using his brain. He's the Hulk who smashes. And here comes Riho. Rumor is she did well on her recent chemistry exam, hoping to graduate high school this week. It's starting to feel like retribution again, a little bit. And again, when you don't believe in your own booking, when you get nervous, when you read criticism online and augment your booking based on that, that's where you get fucked up. And that's where there's issues. And we're off and running. I will take a prediction on this match, but we all know it's going to be Riho. It's Bullet Club. 100. Bullet Club. Interesting. I still think it's got to be Adam Cole. But again, at this point, it's dragged on so long. I'm just like, do it. Pull the trigger. Ruby watching from back. Interesting. She's not getting along with Saraya. Tony Storm doesn't like either of them. So wait, he's doing all this for the Ring of Honor titles? Yeah, again, we're going back after the Ring of Honor titles. Interesting. And to me, it doesn't, it resets us back to where we were 2 weeks ago, right? So instead of just having that match and working an angle into that match, maybe lights out, lights come back on, and MJF's down in the ring, but you did the match, that to me would have worked, especially now we're going to run it back. I don't know. I'm sorry, but this double storyline is stupid as fuck. I really don't care anymore. Yeah. When this first started, it was a buzz. But how long has it been going on? I feel like they've overstayed their welcome on it a little bit. Security guard protecting Saraya throws a forearm. Does every match go to the floor? This is right. AJ, I'm accepting that as sarcasm because it's gotta be. First time saying this can't wait for next Dynamite. As Saraya just pounding Riho off the guardrail. Back into the ring. Saraya, must have 80 pounds on the Riho. A little bow. Okay. Another Ring of Honor title match. Look, MJF shouldn't be the Ring of Honor tag champion. He should have never had it. Having him booked twice on the same show was a problem. It to me, it muddies the stories. It convolutes the story. It takes away from the focus of the fan base. Those Ring of Honor tag titles, and it doesn't make any sense. Now, some champions have to relinquish their titles. Some champions you can supplement a partner in. Cole can't defend the Ring of Honor title, but he can defend the world title. Again, it just lacks continuity. It is storytelling with a crayon. Sorry. The double story is really dragging. Yeah. As we go to picture in picture, folks, I will remind everyone out there, I hope you are doing well. Make sure you've hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Our numbers are growing. We're creeping up real fast at 3.2K. We're heading towards 4K total. But yeah, help us get there. We appreciate it. The best gift you can give us is be a friend, tell a friend, and join us for all our action tomorrow. We will be here tomorrow night. Ringside Anthony and some surprises will be here for Impact. Friday, we got the doubleheader. Saturday, we got Collision. Hopefully on Christmas Eve, we're going to launch a best of video if all goes well. Christmas Day, we're going to rest. We're going to enjoy some turkey and some gifts and some family. And then we are back on Boxing Day to get right back at it as we head into World's End and the New Year's Eve week. So lots going on here at the channel. And once we flip this calendar in about a week and a half, we're in WrestleMania season. So strap in and strap on. We're heading towards Revolution, Sting's final match, Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Mania, all the stories, all the rumors, and we will be here for all of it. We are live for more wrestling than anybody else, folks. We really are the wrestling friends you can't find anywhere. And we don't always talk wrestling. We got football, which right now, me and Big Nick setting up for a big weekend. Kicks off tomorrow night, actually, because Nick's got 4 or 5 guys going. But the Wrestling for Life grudge match is, I owe Big Nick a receipt as we head into the semifinals of our fantasy faction, or our fantasy football league. Cross my wires there. It's me, It's me. It's DDP. Could you imagine? Blow my mind. I still want it to be like outlandish at this point. Like I've kind of given up on the story. Like I'm not invested in the story anymore. So now I just want it to be something ridiculous. I want it to be Jungle Boy or fucking DDP or Tony Khan. Tony Khan would be my pick. Make it Tony Khan. Bounty Hunter for TNT champ. I haven't seen like the Bounty Hunter is all elite thing come out. I don't know why that hasn't happened yet. Again, another talent, another vet, another guy that can go. Why not lock him in? Like you were so quick to announce so-and-so and the people that you have rostered. Like fuck, and Helico's still all elite. Why is the Bounty Hunter not instantly just locked up? Why do you not? Maybe he doesn't want to be. I have no idea. Riho with the 619. Saraya wobbling. And Riho slips. We almost lost her. Riho goes for the crossbody and it turned more into a whoop. Woo. Into a headlock. This is also the second time they've done this, and we've got to be friends with our challenger for the title thing. Just a bit different because they're not best friends. AEW is just not good anymore. Well, I will say this, Boston. I think there is good in AEW, and I know you kind of feel the same way, but the booking, the storytelling, it's suffering. Oh, reversal by Saraya coming off the top. Riho gets caught. 2 count for Saraya. But yeah, it's I don't want to go as far as saying it's not good anymore, right? And again, I will repeat this for anyone new here. I started this because I was a fan of AEW, and I was really pissed off at guys like Jim Cornette that seemed to shit on everything AEW did in the beginning. But 4 years in, going into 2024, wow. Northern Lights, Saraya kicks out. Going into 2024, 2023 was not the best year for AEW in any regard for me. As a fan of the show, I've been disappointed more than I've been happy. Does that make me a bad fan? Does that mean I should shut up and not watch? Does that mean I should just, only watch? No, that's bullshit. I want this show to do well. I want this company to succeed, but it's fucking awful. And again, you're right about we got to be friends. Why? Well, there's Riho with the obvious win off the Meteora. So as we knew, again, very predictable. Riho. I'm convinced, guys, Tony Khan is becoming everything he hated. Everything he said he wasn't going to be. Tony Khan is turning into little Vince McMahon. Obvious booking, shit stories, no payoffs, not the right payoffs. That's my fucking opinion. There you go. As Riho, and does anybody out there, I'm listening. We got almost 50 people here right now. Does anybody out there give a fuck about Riho versus Tony Storm at World's End? Does that help you move tickets? Does that excite you? Like, is anyone out there going, oh my God, I can't wait for this barn burner match between these awesome women? I love Tony Storm, but does anyone give a fuck about this rivalry? It doesn't exist. As Luther dropping Tony off at the ring. What has she got in her hand? Oh. Tony weighs more than Riho from the waist down. All of Riho weighs less than Tony from the waist down. Oh, and Riho throwing punches. Drop toe hold, setting up the 619. And hits it. Big knees to the face. There you go. There you go. I'm pumped. Sorry, they sold me. Oh, Mariah May takes out Riho. I'd rather see Mariah May take on Tony Storm. The fuck are we doing? Best friends. The Devil Mask storyline, it's on its last wheels. It has to be. It has to be. And the fact that they're running back this let's fight for the Ring of Honor championship blows my mind. Austin Beginner Gaming. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Larry, I have chocolate Christmas tree, cake, ice cream. That's a mouthful. Pause. Chris Statlander reminds me of a tomboy that hangs with all the boys. Yeah, that's kind of her thing. But why is Statlander not fighting Tony Storm at World's End? Why isn't that a thing? Like, there's better than Riho. Bum 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 bum. Timeless Tony Storm, let's go. I love Timeless Tony Storm. I think she's excellent. I think she's a talent. Yes, her gimmick's a little over the top, but part of the reason why I think her gimmick seems so outlandish because she's not going up against a good story. Like, you don't have competitors coming in and calling her on her shit, right? Rio's not doing promo battles with her. You need, a Britt Baker, a Mariah May, a Statlander to go, you're not a special. You're not timeless. What is this black and white shit? You're ridiculous. But nobody's doing that. So it just looks like this woman acting a fool. You need the counterbalance, and you're not getting it. Tony Schiavone's got a letter. What is this? What is this? Aces and eights. Yeah, Ben, welcome back. But yeah, definitely aces and eights vibes. I would argue that aces and eights was done better. Oh, this is from Christian Cage? So Christian wrote a letter that Tony had to read. I guess Christian didn't have the time to do a pre-tape, couldn't do a selfie video in his car or something. Watching Tony Schiavone read this fucking letter is awful TV. So Christian Cage has been challenged by Adam Copeland to an ODQ match at World's End. I want it. They need to fix what they did to this story. I don't know why they couldn't have just taken a 3-minute pre-tape and had Christian, even if it was a selfie video. And then we're going to go to Christian Cage. He sent us this video. Fucking Schiavone out there reading a ransom letter was fucking bullshit. Riho for the win, clearly. Yeah, Tony went back to his TNA tapes. Yeah, no shit. And I would argue Aces and Eights was delivered way better, which, there you go. Saraya looks delicious. If you stare at Saraya's shirt, it kind of looks like Mickey Mouse. That was Kyle O'Reilly, Strong, and the other two. Cole on screen. So Cole changed his team to his own tag belt. Great logic. I guess the argument becomes that Cole didn't want to tag with MJF, so he's trying to get the tag belt away from him. But why are we fighting over the Ring of Honor tag titles on AEW Dynamite? If you really want to do something relevant, just make this your tag team. Make them AEW tag champs and work it into the fucking story. At least then it has more relevancy. Easy for me to say. We're not doing well. We're over an hour in, folks. The matches have been good. The Saraya and Riho match wasn't bad. Wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. I'll give them some marks. What a horrible spot for a commentary table. Yeah, I don't get that. I really don't get that at all. So, Saraya got boo-boo job face. She got to put over a 90-pound Riho. Not good. And again, you go from that match and you see right before that match, you got Statlander. Mariah May comes out, and I know they're not even building that angle very well. Eventually, Mariah May is just going to turn out of left field without really the build of it. And that's unfortunate. Riho should not be challenging at this pay-per-view. And if she wins, fuck. 90 Sting was a weapon. He was legit the only face for WCW nearly a decade. He dominated merchandise and magazines. Crow Sting versus NWO was the most compelling. Sting is undisputed icon. Yeah, you're right about a lot of what you just said there. The only thing that went wrong for Sting was Hulk Hogan saying that doesn't work for me, brother. And after 1 year of build, they fucked it up. Thank you, Eric Bischoff and company. But yeah, it was the coolest shit going. Sting up in the rafters, Sting zooping down. It was great. And then they fucking sullied it. Riho for the win. Wow, I'm really behind. What's up, John? How you doing? C-Money, someone had to put Riho over. Yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah, this fuck. Page for the win didn't happen. Was Riho ever world champion in Stardom? I don't know. And I don't even actually know how much presence she had on Stardom because it's a weird situation for me. We're coming back out of commercial break, folks. I'm going to leave it at this. With the last segment with MJF inducted into the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame, the double is Ali. Oh my, JV. Lovely cakes in the ring, 100%. Somebody get the child out of the ring. Yeah, right? And listen, I get it. You want to build her. You know, she does the 619. She's like, you know, the little Asian Mysterio, I guess. I don't fucking know. MJF and Joe in the back. What is happening? And there's a black, is that a balaclava? Outside of Swerve of the Mogul Embassies? Mogul Embassy. So are they hinting that it might be Swerve and friends? God help me. There you go. There you go. Saraya cake is delectable. TK books like Vince McMahon. Damien, I think I said that. Great minds, my friend. Picture in picture. Nice. KJ been saying for that for months now. Your main champion shouldn't also be tag champion. Again, it's happened in the past, but it shouldn't be like he shouldn't be the champion of your under brand, your other brand, your brand that's not even on TV. Like, I don't love it being I don't love the champion being also tag champ. But if you're gonna do it with your fucking AEW tag champ belt. Make it matter. Nobody gives a fuck about the Ring of Honor tag championship, except the Masked Man, apparently. This interaction between Swerve and MJF's good, though. I like MJF serious like this. He should have dropped the title. They could have had a tournament for titles. I'm so sick of tournaments. But yeah, they could have done anything but this. And again, the Ring of Honor belts being prominent on AEW Dynamite is not, it's just muddy in the waters. Glad we're getting Saraya to do more after her injury, looking good. She looked all right, actually. She actually worked really well as a heel. The actual couple botch moments were Rio's problem, not hers. I'm interested. I mean, I was such a huge Paige fan. And I know people, it's not because she changed company. It's just because. This match is a bathroom break. Facts. When was the last time you saw a DQ or a double count out? It doesn't happen. They rarely do it when it suits their mood, right? There's no consistency. MJF saying you talk about Hangman a lot. KJ, this is wild, but it's been 10 months since AEW last did 1 mil. It's been 3 months since they did 900K. It's crazy how difficult it's been for Tony to get people to come back. You got to give them a reason. It's that simple, AJ. Give them a reason. Book in a way that is compelling. Put stories together that people can't miss. That you have people on message boards and on the internet saying, holy fuck, did you see this? You have to tune in and see where this is going. Samoa Joe and MJF teaming up against Mystery Men for the second time for Ring of Honor tag titles isn't going to do it. Orange Cassidy, Riho, in angles that don't make sense, don't matter. Story sells TV. If you want to be an independent wrestling show that just books wrestling matches, great. Wrestling Revolver does it, and they do it fucking well. They might even do it better than AEW at times. But if you want to be a weekly television show, you need to have story. And I don't care about the AEW diehards out there that say it's about the wrestling. And yeah, but even our favorite sports, our favorite hockey, basketball, baseball, you name it out there, the stories, the angles going into those matchups are the most exciting part. It adds the element. Yeah, it's about what happens on the field, but it's the stories. It's the quarterback that was overlooked. It was the team that's been an underdog. It was the playoff races that sell the most. Now Joe's back. Okay. So I like that they're teasing this, but again, amongst everything else that's going on, I mean, we saw last week with Adam Page. I like this, but if it's Swerve and crew as the masked man, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. It really can't be. But yeah, just to cap that off, I mean, again, if you want to move numbers, and again, don't tell me that the fans aren't out there. You know, Raw might not be pulling in the numbers it once did, but they're 1.4, 1.5, SmackDown 2 million plus. You want to compete with the big boys, you got to put shit together that makes people tune in. And again, you look at the ratings, and I know, don't take a whole lot of clout. People watch them in different ways. But if 1 million people or 800,000 people in the case of AEW tune in at the beginning, but only 700 are left at the end, you as a booker fucked up. It's that simple. Read the numbers. Again, your fanfare can be whatever it wants, but the analytics are the analytics. And right now, all the analytics for AEW aren't good. I have a feeling that Kane is going to surprise entering in the Royal Rumble. Why, Mark? Interesting. It could be, but I'm curious why. Lana is recovering from a finger infection. She got a sliver at work, of all places. She got a sliver at work at AEW, and she was on the shelf. But she seems to be doing well. I think she put out a video of her eating yogurt or Jello or something today. So good on her. Taco Tuesday. Saraya fell off the ring so bad. Did I miss that? I was talking to y'all. Did she fall off the ring by accident? As here comes Komander taking on Roderick Strong. Not sure why. Make it Mark Henry. Mark Henry. I love Mark Henry. If Mark Henry was the devil, I'd probably pop. Dream match incoming. Who's Dream? Funny how they blame Swerve and then out comes Roddy. Facts. Interesting. I mean, again, if you're Swerve and crew, are you going to leave the mask right in front of your own door? You're probably not that fucking stupid. So again, just like the bottle, maybe it's James Storm because the beer bottle. Like, again, guys, don't fall for everything. Wrestling on TV should be treated like TV show, make it compelling stories, and people will come back next and watch. Guys, it's no different than what's happening in the WWE right now. When I first started this channel, we were in those Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard and Johnny fucking Laryngitis were just mailing it in. Every week, the same shit. Every pay-per-view, shitty ending. No real, we're going to do this story, the 50-50 booking, the quitting on their own storylines. WWE sucked. It was trash. And over the time that I've been doing this, it's evolved. It's changed. Evolution is a mystery. And that's where we've come to. And that's what you see. It's not just, there is good wrestling there, and we're seeing it every week now. But it's Seth and Punk, that's selling tickets. Sammy, Roman was selling tickets. Jay and Roman was selling tickets. It's the stories around the event that sell the tickets. Yeah, definitely a long conversation. When you have an in-ring segment and then you have a backstage segment and they're both kind of, again, it gets a little convoluted. I'm a Saraya fan. You know why? Because I'm English. Well, Raleigh, I get it. Bias, how much hate does she get on Twitter? Geez. Again, I think Saraya is just an example of she's just not what she used to be, but then gets billed like she is what she used to be. But I thought Saraya was good tonight. I don't want to give her too much shit. Saraya's ring rust, I'll have to say, I think that's a common occurrence with a lot of the AEW talent is they are booked so sporadically, you can't help but make mistakes. You're not doing the house shows. You're not doing, you're not in a performance center working on your craft. You're not taking a whole lot of bumps. So you get in the ring and it gets sloppy. Sup, Richard Chad? We got a lot of Richards in our chat. Sup, KJ? You hear that? Maria Kanellis is looking for booking. I don't know if that means she is done with Ring of Honor AEW. I don't know if that exactly means that, but she's not exactly getting a whole lot of booking on Ring of Honor, right? We see Adam. We see Mike Bennett. We see Taven. She's MIA. So, yeah, if I was her, I'd be looking for booking. And to be honest, if I was Tony Khan, I would go to somebody like Kanellis, somebody like Serena Deeb, and say, I need you ladies to be 100% in charge of the women's division. We're going to give you X amount of time each show. You are in charge of that division because that's what you need. But you never see her, so I don't blame her. If she's out there looking for work, again, please tell me I'm wrong. The best storyline in wrestling are those who mirror real life. Yeah, but come on, JV. You know that's, again, in 2023, you're not going to get away with it. So let's not overreach. I'm good. I'm doing well. We're almost, we got about a half an hour left in this bad boy. I was on for 3 hours earlier today and then a couple hours here tonight. It's been a good day. Christmas is a-coming. I hope everyone out there is doing well. We're back into picture-in-picture. I will remind the new faces in the chat, don't be shy. Don't be quiet. Say hello. This is a wrestling family. All opinions are welcome. Just keep the hands above the waist at all times and keep it clean, folks. That tree got budget. Bad booking. Tony didn't need to read a letter. Just say Christian will be on Collision. That's also like, while the action's already going on, you can talk about it, right? For Tony to stand up and read a ransom letter like that was fucking horrible. Horrible TV because it's so stationary. It's so standstill, right? And when you're looking for action, that's why a lot of, the wrestling, it's bold and it's colorful and it's moving. That man just standing there reading a letter was horrible. Next Strong. Yeah, who are you taking? It's gotta be Roderick, right? It's gotta be Next Strong. WWE has a better storylines than we see on AEW. 100%, Philip. I'm with you on that. And I don't think that's I don't think anybody that wants to argue that can make a fair argument in return. No, this story, like if Dave Meltzer did say there's too many stories in AEW, what are the storylines? Your women's world champion is not in a story. She's not in a storyline. Your champion is, but the storyline is so clunky and so stretched out that we don't even know. Like, he's supposed to be battling Joe. Like, would the story right now not be better if Joe and MJF just hated each other and they couldn't wait to get at it? And it was a week in, week out one-upmanship. Maybe, you paint Joe as a heel. He keeps, jumping MJF. He keeps getting at MJF. But Joe and MJF are caught up in this Masked Men. The Masked Men thing has been going on for so long. There's like 12 of them now. They're like the fucking Foot Clan. I'm waiting for the Ninja Turtles to show up. Maybe that's who the four, jumped up on the apron was fucking Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, and fucking Raphael. I don't know. but the stories aren't strong in AEW. And yeah, we're getting good. Like tonight opened with 2 really good matches. And then I feel like the show just dipped down because we're getting a lot of shit that isn't great. And that match between Riho and Saraya was what it was. But we all knew Riho was going to win. Like Riho gets pushed like she's Charlotte Flair by Tony, but she's Riho. Maria Kanellis is gorgeous, or is it just me thinking that was a Playboy in 90s, 2000? Just saying. Yeah, Maria is gorgeous. I mean, and if you guys don't follow Mike Bennett on social media, her husband, he's outstanding. He's inspirational. I listen to this guy a lot. The dude waking up at 3 a.m. all the fucking time. I think Bennett and Taven were like, oh my God, we signed them. And ladies and gentlemen, our new signing. And they haven't amounted to much. And to me, that's where the wrestling breaks down is everything's got to pay off in the ring. And you got Taven and Bennett running around not doing a lot. Yeah, they might have a Ring of Honor match here or there, but why are they not in the ring? Week in and week out, having matches, building up the tag team division. How many tag matches have we had tonight? How many trios matches? How many references to either division has been mentioned tonight? Right. It's unorganized, sporadic booking. It's unorganized, sporadic creativity. It's not consistent. And when the captain of the ship lacks confidence, it shows. Also think wrestling Riho creates caution in her opponents so they don't hurt her fragile body. Could be why she was clunky in the match. Absolutely. And anyone here, if you had like kid brothers or little cousins, you ever get in like a playful wrestling match with, and you pick up somebody that's light and you accidentally fucking bang them off a wall, or you don't mean to, you're going half, but you're just too strong. It affects it. Like the opening part of that match with Saraya and Riho was like the clubbing blows. It looked like shit. Riho throwing little uppercuts to the belly, and that's what it looks like, a little kid. And then Saraya starts wailing on these very clunky over the top forehands. But anyway, back to the action. Komander going to the top, Roddy laying down, Komander talking to the crowd. Sanjay Dutt, here we go. Here, oh God, Sanjay Dutt, I haven't seen him. 2 count on Roddy. Didn't need the match because they already yeah, exactly. Cart before horse. The zombies took Miz, probably. Yeah, I mean, and again, I think if you guys, for anyone out there who's listening that doesn't watch the WWE or just has kind of written it off, I'm not saying their history was perfect, and it hasn't been. Big moonsault taking out everybody in the kingdom. All the King's men. Couldn't put Roddy back together again. DQ in a Hell in a Cell match. Yeah. Yeah, we had some trouble. Sport, I've been seeing AJ. I think because of Punk, the obvious rumors are there. I think it would be a huge pop if she shows up, and I think it's potential. Think it's got potential. Roderick Strong for the win. Cardona, I could see showing up. There's been a lot of talk, but Cardona, every time we get close to a major WWE event, Cardona starts trolling the fans. So you got to be cautious. And there it is. Roderick Strong with the win. Neck brace back on. We're doing surprise Rumble entrance. Okay, here's 2. AJ Lee, Matt Cardona, because the wife works in Chelsea. 100%. Definitely big possibilities. I still think Sasha Banks is a possibility. I'm kind of being funny and saying that I actually think that Jade's going to be a surprise and win it. This Royal Rumble is one that you don't want to miss. And Nick and I are going to be here all night screaming and yelling like fucking maniacs. Now they're pinning up signs that say MJF or the devil. Now here's something for everybody. Give me a second. Here's what I find interesting about what's happening right now. MJF comes out. Samoa Joe is already in the ring. They talk. The devil shows up. There's a whole bunch of shit. MJF's in the back with Joe. They accuse Swerve of being the double. They are not connected to Roddy or these guys at all right now. And then Roddy have a match with Komander. No connection to the previous situation. Roddy here screaming. And now they're talking about MJF being the double. Does anybody understand why that is the problem here? That there's so many moving parts that don't really interact. Right? Why didn't Roddy come out during that segment and talk about it? Why didn't he, like, again, there's no connecting fabric, no connecting tissue between these moving parts. So they're passing out signs that say MJF is the double. I don't get it. Samoa Joe is his best friend. Clint Jacobs is too busy. The Kingdom do nothing but cheerlead Roddy and do squash matches. It's so sad. The Kingdom, again, great talent. Great talent. The embassy on the door was the same font as the challenge message. Easy bake. Very interesting. As we're getting a replay of Collision where Sky Blue finally turned what she should have before. Right? Why didn't she just turn when she was going to turn? No, we're just going to drag it out for 3 more weeks and then she'll do it. And Thunder Rosa returns. Your former women's champion returns to team with Abaddon. Now, I got Riho taking on Toni Storm, just for the record, before we go further. And Thunder Rosa on Saturday is going to team up with Abaddon to take on Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Anybody else see a problem? Anybody? Somebody? Bueller? There are the double goons minus Kyle. The trios. Oh, so we get the Acclaimed taking on Top Flight and Andrade. Claudio versus Bryan Danielson on Saturday. Strap in and strap on for that one. Dun, 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 dun. And don't feed the trolls after midnight. Turn into a mug pie. Or a mug pie going the other way. TNA can take Maria KJ. Maria was doing really good things with Ring of Honor. Like, you could utilize a Maria Kanellis. Like, she was such a big proponent of what was happening in a really strong Ring of Honor women's division before Tony took it over, before it kind of shut down and then came back. Maria is an outstanding talent. She's a vet. She's been around. TNA could use Maria. They really could. And I think Tony could utilize her. But you just saw Toni Storm. Sorry, Thunder Rosa. Why did you bring her back on your B show? And why is she in this angle? Why is she not fucking with Toni Storm or a Chris Statlander or something significant? And that's not me being a hater. That's me wanting more. That's me as a fan going, wait a minute. That's your former world champion who never lost her belt. She's going to go hang out with Abaddon, who you've booked in 4 matches in 3 years? And don't get me wrong, I love Abaddon. I'm a fan. I think she's been underbooked. But what are we doing? I don't get it. Roderick for the win. Roderick for the win. Yes, he did. Yeah, me too, Larry. None. Yeah, Swerve attack, Roderick. Trios titles have been buried. They have. You create a division. That's where people want a women's tag team division. Why? So that can also not get booked? Right? Right? If you're going to do it, do it. But right now, again, I said, here we are, almost at the end of Dynamite. Not one tag match. Not one trios match. Who are the top competitors in the trios division? I don't know. Whatever the flavor of the week is. Right now, it's Top Flight and Andrade. And I wouldn't even be shocked if they fucking won it. Who are your top competitors in your tag team division? Well, it was the Golden Jets going up against Ricky Starks, but where did that go? I mean, even before that, outside of those two teams, FTR should be in the mix, but they're not doing a lot. What are the other tag teams? The House of Black are kind of tag teams once in a while. Sometimes they're trios. They're never singles except Brody. So who represents your tag team division? Who represents your trios division? What's the difference between the TBS division and the women's main division? People want a women's world TV title. Are they not both TV titles? Or essentially is not TBS title the TV title of the boat of the women's division? But Riho comes out of left field and she goes right after Toni Storm. Thunder Rosa comes back and goes in a tag match for the, you know, maybe she'll fight Julia Hart at some point. Help me understand. Again, for those who think this is hate, you're not listening. For those who think this is bitching and moaning, you're not paying attention. And again, if it ruffles your feather and makes you want to run away, I completely understand. But I have every right as a fan who pays money to support this company, who, you know, we do these streams to support this company. Help me understand. That explains why Tony Khan wouldn't know how to book a woman when he has adult-only anime. What? If the shoe fits. Agree, chair. Trios titles disappeared. Facts. Well, again, when you introduce the trios title to give it to your EVPs, the guys that are supposed to be building your company, and they just did it for themselves because they didn't want to take the heat that they were getting in the tag team division, because they weren't men enough to admit that there was other tag teams better than them. They not only buried the tag team division, but then they buried the trios division. And you think about it, that they did that 7-match series, and when it ended, they were all but not talked about. And then eventually they were a little bit, and then they weren't. And that's what we're doing right now. The Acclaimed were hot as anybody. And anybody give a fuck about the Acclaimed right now? And here comes John Moxley. Sorry, my bad. Triple H is building the tag team division and the women's division. You can see what Triple H is up to. He's bringing in, he's highlighting, he's giving moments where we'll take 4 or 5 tag teams and just put them in the back together and have a little segment. So you see, visually, you can see this is our division. Yes, again, in the past, WWE doesn't love tag team wrestling as much as they should. But there's been times where the tag team division's been outstanding, but he's being methodical. He, cerebral assassin for a reason. I think the man is playing chess when other people are playing checkers. Here comes Mox, Jay White waiting for him. Damn, so Riho and Saraya both have injury histories, and Tony booked them together. Tony, again, you kind of got to look past injury. Like, if they're both in the ring, fine. But again, like I just said, you brought back Thunder Rosa and put her on Collision. But you brought back Riho and throw her right at Toni Storm. What would you pay money for? If I said here's $10 and you can spend it but on one match, would you spend it on Tony and Riho or Tony and Thunder? I'm curious. What do you guys think? Let me know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But come on now. Mox for the win. Robert Cortez loving his AEW. Like it. I like it. 3-0. I miss Juice. Yeah, I miss Juice. Juice's injury was really unfortunate because he was bringing a lot of life to the Bullet Club. He really, really was. People, what KJ is saying it's criticism. It's to make sure they do better, or it's not criticism. I see what you're saying, Chair. And again, I'll take the heat all day long. If people can't handle it, tough shit. I know sometimes my buddy thinks he's the heel, and but it really is a big cuddly teddy bear underneath. Don't tell him I told you that. But I'll happily take the heat all day long. FTR is overexposed. Yeah, I don't know if overexposed or just, again, when you don't have anything compelling around them, it does feel overexposed, right? Like, and again, they can't always be just clicking at top. Like, I think a lot of people still viewed them as like, really good tag team, and they are, but they haven't been booked like one this year. Outside of the 60-minute match, they haven't had a whole lot going on. Jay White for the win. AEW sucks. AEW is sucking. I'll put it that way. And again, as much as people think I'm shitting on this company, I don't want to just throw it all away. I want this company to grow and succeed. But man, it's making it fucking hard. Right? It's like me trying to defend the WWE draft, and I couldn't fucking do it because they were making it impossible. Roddy's going to get smoked night. KJ, yes, it's Abaddon with Julia and Sky, women's version of House of Black. Well, right now it's only Julia and Sky, and not a good version of House of Black. Renee looking fired. She always does. Good old Canadian girl. Can't go wrong with that. The Kingdom is the only team not to get jumped by the Devil. Facts. But it's because almost like they're insignificant. And Roddy hasn't really been jumped by anybody. Kingdom should have gotten Ring of Honor belts since Adam got hurt. They should have got the Ring of Honor belts when they first got here. They should have got chances to be AEW tag team champs. I would have signed up for FTR versus the Kingdom. I think the Kingdom's full of talent. I really do. I really like the Kingdom not being used. I don't think Kurt Angle will go to WWE. It would lessen his impact. It would lessen the impact of Chelsea. I don't agree with that. They'd make her his valet. No, they wouldn't. And they'd take away from his own character and success. Smile Mark, he might not go back to the WWE because of what he's created on the indies. But even he said, I don't want to retire in a bingo hall. I don't want to retire in a gymnasium. Matt Cardona wants to get back to the big stage, but he will not come back as his old self. He is Matt Cardona. He's the indie god. He could probably even sell that. Like if he returns as a heel and he's telling the Seth Rollins of the world, the Cody Rhodes of the world, like I'm an indie god. I tore up the indies, and then they can battle back on that premise. Will they make him a valet or make her? No, I don't think so. And I actually think Chelsea is close to getting a singles push. But yeah, I don't think one is connected to the other. Professionally, I don't see it being a thing. Mercedes is husband. Oh, back body drop on the ramp. Mercedes is husband in WWE and Hunter's in charge and best friends. Her husband makes her ring gear. She probably wants to be close to family. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, okay. Dun, dun, dun. What else we got? AEW sucks. That makes me laugh. I don't believe. I mean, fuck. I don't believe it sucks. I just feel like, and I use this analogy like every fucking Wednesday. Tony Khan has all the ingredients and all the shit. He's like at the fucking, the Master Chef kitchen with fucking Ramsay, and he's got all the fucking shit he needs. He just doesn't know how to put it all together. And I truly believe that Tony's biggest problem as a leader is I think there's things that he would like to do that he can't do because everybody else has their 2 cents. The Bucks are hurting him. Jericho's hurting him. Moxley potentially hurting him. As Moxley talking to the ref about his knee and Jay White knocking him clean off the apron. Jay White for the win. You know what? I would love for Jay White to win. I don't see it happening. I really don't, guys. Dropped on his stomach on the apron, still holding that knee. Disciplinary committee faction should have Danielson, Deeb, Roddy Strong, and Jeff Jarrett. You lost me at the end there, my friend. I think that would be cool if they did like a right to censor, but like the disciplinary committee faction. I think that could work. I think there's some legs to that, my friend. Right? Just a heel faction that like tries to punish everyone, that tattles, that maybe is a fucking fake ticket book, like he's trying to write everybody up like a hall monitor. Yeah, I think that could work 100%. Could get behind that. AEW is lost. It doesn't know. It's like the fucking, what is this? Billy Madison of like the lost puppy. AEW is lost and doesn't know what to book or how to book or tell a coherent story. I agree. I completely agree with that, right? It's the lost little puppy. And will he ever come home? Yeah, I mean, that's the downfall of this company right now. I think in the first couple of years, you get away with it, right? And then, like, when I first started podcasting, I had to listen to Jim Cornette, and he was just shitting on it. This doesn't make sense. That wasn't good. Look at this Dark Order mess. Look at that. This doesn't make sense. And I thought he was just unnecessarily shitting on the company because I think a lot of people gave it runway. Like, even if it was flawed and blemished, it wasn't the WWE. It wasn't fucking Vince McMahon booking, so bring it on. I didn't give a fuck what it was. It just wanted an alternative to the WWE. But once that novelty and that nuance wore off, I think it went downhill. And once you got past that 2-year mark, as this company is supposed to be hitting its stride year 4, year 5, and on an upward trend, it's either flattened out or it's dipping in a lot of regards. Again, that's not criticism, that's just facts. Commercial break. I am on a commercial break. I'm Pizza Hut up in my face. But AEW doesn't suck. It's had its moments this year. It has had its moments 100%. Again, are they doing some sucky shit? Yes. Are they fucking some shit up? Yes. Have they done some really good shit along the way? Yes. Have I popped for moments? Yes. For sure. I love again, as a fan of AEW, I think I get mad. I get more pissed off at AEW doing the stuff it's doing than when WWE does it. Because I really, really want AEW to do well. I'm a fan of the company. But as it struggles, I'm getting more frustrated as a fan. WWE does some wonky shit or some like cartoony shit. I expect that. Someone kind of like, fuck, that's them. Who cares? But with AEW, it's just like, what are we doing? And as a grown-ass man, it's just you telling me, like the people that are going to run out and say, well, Dynamite was fire. It was perfect. There's no better storyline in wrestling than this double storyline. I just can't. I can't subscribe to that. I can't be a part of that. I got to be honest. Now, Jay Moxley should be a hell of a fight. But everyone on Twitter will say it was the best. And I think that's where the revolt happens, right? Tonight was a decent night. There was decent stuff here. There was chunks of it that struggled bad, though. No, KJ, that's Cake City time match. There you go. FTR is overexposed. I got that. Gun Club. Gun Club, yeah. The Gun. I think the Gun Club, they've been almost invisible since Juice got hurt, which doesn't really make sense, right? I think we could get more out of the Gun Club. Like the Gun Club going after Ricky and Big Bill might work. I know they're both heels, but you can figure that out. You need more tag team presence. You need more trios presence if you're going to have a trios division. But in my humble opinion, you can't have a trios division at the same time as a tag team division. You don't have enough talent. The Butcher and the Blade need to move on to another company. Again, I'm a huge fan. Huge of Butcher and the Blade. Right? Oh, Moxley clapping Jay White's back and then dragging the nails. Bro. Fighting like a girl. Yeah, no. Why? Like, again, I think if you had an actual division, a structured division, and you were booking it as such, it would lend better. But because it's so sporadic, when was the last time we saw Butcher and the Blade? Now, if they went on to like Impact, I think they'd do great things. I think they would do great. We already know Bunny has left, and she already did great things. The only problem she had was they killed her. So they're going to find a way, like Eric Young, to bring her back to life. Moxley with a tope. Grabbing that knee again. Idea for Tony Khan. Every state should have their individual title belts. Don't you dare. Every 2 victories should award a belt to that person. I'm sorry. No, don't even tempt him. Bring in Tyler Rex, the trans wrestler. All right. Great. Now I want barbecue. Thanks, JR. How could you not? Oh, Jay White dropping Moxley on the stairs. Keyshawn, they are good episode. This episode is mid except for MJF Swerve promo. Even that, because of where it was, I didn't love it. Like, I thought their interaction was great, but time and place. Save that interaction for later. And again, it was just a bit long, being that they were just in the ring doing a promo. Jay White's got a chair. I guess he doesn't give a shit anymore. Rensburg saying, knock it off. Bring the Butcher and the Blade on Dynamite. It would be lovely. People, what KJ is saying is criticism. It's to make sure the show's better. It's constructive. Again, it's not insults. Again, if you think it's that way, and listen, I've pissed off enough people, and I've had enough people get all pouty and take their fucking shit and go elsewhere. And I'm okay with that. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't face facts, you can't face facts. And remember, a lot of what I say is just my opinion, my perspective, my observation. I don't expect everyone to agree with it, and I'm very much open to counter argument. That's why me and Nick get along so well, because we're both willing to battle things. We're both, neither one of us quits on the other one because we don't get along, because we don't agree with everything. You're not supposed to agree with everything, and I won't block you because you disagree with me. I got that. Mox for the win. I guess Gun Club is gone now. I have no idea. But if the WWE can get their hands on the Gun Club, that's money. That is your tag team division for 5 to 10 years. That is young talent with charisma, with lineage. You throw them in NXT just for a little bit, get a little bit of seasoning, and then you cut them loose. They are fucking ready. Triple H pushing the UK and NXT talents, very much so. Still talks about, NXT Europe and such. I know that it's been delayed. Hey, KJ, when Mox comes out, there was a guy dressed in all black all the way behind him with a mask on. Yeah, and I didn't see that, and I don't think that. That'd be really fucking weird. Yeah, seconds are barred from ring in this one. Yeah. And again, though, I think the rules like that give you opportunity for your heels to cheat, right? Like one of them pops up at ringside by the guardrail and smacks a baby face. There you get good heel heat, There's opportunities within the rules. When the rules are conducted properly, you get opportunities for situations. Big knee from Moxley. Creed almost killed someone on Raw, said Stevie 100. Yeah, they're green as fuck, so it wouldn't surprise me. We talked about their finisher and them landing on people's faces is not good. Wait, no tag team match tonight, huh? Not one tag match, not one trios match, nothing. A bunch of singles matches. Moxley hits a cutter. No selling again. Tony and Thunder, thank you. Thunder Rosa is on Turney's shit list. Tony's shit list. She pissed off Britt Baker. And again, another woman where the locker room, she needs to apologize. Yeah, fuck off. Business about to pick up. I give you Moxley. Yeah, there you go. Jay going for the hook. Up. Oh! The cradle. Moxley kicking out. A little clunky. That's a couple times last week and this week where Moxley seems to have a little bit of trouble getting up. If you know what I mean, like helping the move. AEW really doesn't highlight their tag team division like they should. Well, if they're not highlighting their tag division, they're not highlighting their women's division, they're not highlighting their trios division, I would argue that what? So help me, guys. If you're listening to me right now, help me Like, what are they highlighting? The Continental Classic. For not even your world title. MJF's highlighted for sure. So men's single wrestling is what's being highlighted in AEW right now. Is that not even a portion? Just a portion of this whole fucking puzzle? Oh, well, they're calling for the 15-minute mark, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Moxley takes the L. Let's fucking go. Oh, this is why they did it. So now we're going to have a three-way to see who makes the playoffs. Why wouldn't you go to a tiebreaker? Okay, I see what they did. Richard, what KJ, what if Thunder joined with Abaddon by change her character? Julia spit mist in Rose's eyes. I don't. Yeah, like honestly, I don't know what to tell you there. I hope not. Come on, yeah, big win, guys. Robert Cortez, you always know a WWE. I would argue that we always know an AEW. Like, was any surprises outside of Jay White? I have to admit, and this is where we said earlier. And I would argue lately the WWE has been far more unpredictable. Jay White wins, guys. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? So we're going to get a triple threat match. Like, you already had this big fucking tournament, this round robin, and now we're going to get a triple threat match. Yeah, look, I agree with you there, sir. But I did not expect this. I did not expect this. As here comes Swerve, I imagine. Yeah. So the Gold League semifinal will now be a triple threat match. Next week. I mean, it should be a fucking great match. Moxley's still holding his knee, so I will give Moxley credit. Moxley, yeah. The Guns versus Street Profits is my dream tag team match. I like that. I like that idea. CM Punk is now here. Where? Are you CM Punk? Eddie Guerrero moved by Jay. Yeah. And Jay taking out the knee. I like it. I like it. All right. So instead of getting two people in the semis, we get a three-way tie. To me, that does show a little bit of unexpected. I will give him credit. I did not think Jay White was going to win this. I'm shocked, but at the same time, to me, it feels like I'm too afraid to make a strong choice here. But I like it. I'm okay with how that ended. I enjoy Impact, NXT, and MLW. I enjoy those as well. Is GCW on TV? Nope, they're on Fight a lot. I enjoy GCW more than AEW. Damian, at times, could be. But ladies and gentlemen, AEW has come to an end tonight. The holiday bash is over. I will take your rating out of 10. What did you think? And Jay White looks strong. Listen, I have to give it kudos where kudos is due. I did not expect that. This will start a Swerve and Moxley segment. Perhaps, does that mean Jay White squeezes out? Very interesting. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know where they go with this one. I mean, it's very interesting. But we're getting a triple threat. I'd rather it be just straight up semifinal, but we're getting a triple threat for the semifinal. I'm okay with that. I thought Jay White looked good. I told you Jay White will win it all. He is not winning it all, my friend. I cannot. Listen, come back and we'll talk about it again. You can tell me how wrong I was. I still think this is Brian's tournament. So we'll find out. AEW is highlighting Storm, Christian, MJF, Joe, and WWE 2.0. Facts. I'll take that. I'll take all of that. That's pretty accurate. No orange. We did have a little taste of orange tonight. Pause. But yeah, at the end of the day, not a big presence. He will take on Rocky Romero for his title at some point. I'm still shocked. 6. What is your rating out of 10, folks? What do you got? 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 Do you think Raw has been producing a better show than SmackDown since Survivor Series? Ever since we've moved away from the Judgment Day versus Sami and KO and Cody, it feels like a breath of fresh air on Raw. Better than SmackDown, not necessarily. However, I will say this. The Raw 3-hour marathon that can be a fucking drag through the mud, 2 weeks in a row, maybe 3, the pace is picked up. So I know a lot of people don't tune into Raw and then just shit on it. Tune into Raw. There's so much more going on Raw right now. Punk being back helps. Seth being involved in that helps. They're highlighting some young talent. The 3 hours is moving quicker than it has. The thing about SmackDown, I feel like Roman Reigns kind of has SmackDown held hostage. There's a lot of talent there. Roman comes back this week, but he didn't really, it was all right. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. We get a triple threat coming up to see who will take on Roman, but it's kind of like Roman has SmackDown by, held hostage. And it's been a little stagnant and stale for a while. And you're always looking for, where is this guy going to show up and come back? And will it matter? Again, LA Knight versus Jimmy versus Solo. AJ Styles returning is a big thing. But the same thing. Randy comes back, he fights Jimmy, then he fights Solo, or vice versa. Yeah, you got to get out of that pattern on SmackDown. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. From what I saw, I shut it off. Fair enough. Fair enough, man. You still on strike? 6 out of 10. Thoughts on Bryan versus Claudio on Collision? Should be a great match. I'm really intrigued by this. Again, I think this is Bryan's tournament to win, so poor Claudio's probably going to go under. Maybe they can parlay that into some type of feud, some type of issue between Bryan and Claudio and the BCC. Like, is the BCC still a gang? Do they still hang out? Do they still do stuff? Where's Wheeler Yuta? I think Wheeler Yuta's on Ring of Honor fighting for belts. So that's my dilemma with Wheeler and with this whole thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this match, Kyle. I really am. They all came from WWE. Facts. KJ, do you think Raw has been cooking over SmackDown? Got that one. Swerve when I walk. Welcome, Joe. Very true. 7 out of 10. I like it. Mike Santana versus Josh Alexander on the next House of Glory pay-per-view, January 6th. That's going to be a pretty good match. Yeah, I mean, Mike Santana's doing good things. He's trying to make a name for himself. Josh, the walking weapon. Shout out to a fellow Canadian. Can't go wrong with that. I'm going to skip that. 5.5 out of 10. The double angle is complete dog shit. A-Town, it's definitely, it might have started out as not so bad, but it definitely has taken a turn, and it's definitely not going well right now. Swerve wins it. I still think, I think Swerve's got to make the finals. Like, I thought the semifinals was going to come down to all BCC members and Swerve. Now we got Jay White in the mix, so that's very interesting. 7 because of the surprise. What surprise? The Jay White win? 3.5 out of 10. Oh, 3.5. Ouch. Steve, the only one you can say that about is Christian, but even Christian was indies before WWE. I'll never understand you or WWE 2.0 stuff. It makes no sense. 8 out of 10. 6 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Cody, Naka, Miz, Gunther, Reed, Ivar. I'm all for all of that. Let's go. 6 out of 10. I could see Jey Uso being the one to beat Gunther. I like this. I like this suggestion. I like the idea of that booking. And we talked about this the other night, Nick and I, about, LA Knight. Does LA Knight now have to shift and go after like a Logan Paul? Does Jay have to shift and go after a Gunther? Gunther versus Jay is great because the big dominant champion and the smaller guy that just won't quit. That's tough as nails, that won't give up, won't tap out. and just keeps fighting. It has that Shawn Michaels Diesel kind of vibe, right? Or Shawn Michaels versus anybody, because it was always the smaller guy. I like it. I like it. And I think it's got potential there. I do like the idea that Jimmy and Jay are going to fight at some point. But now with so much talent, AJ Styles is back in the mix. What do you do with all these moving pieces? These extra wrestlers, you got to make them convincing and compelling as far as your booking with them. So they can't all fight the champion. And this is partly why I think sooner than later Roman Reigns does have to give up that belt, because that show gets more interesting if that belt is in play. But not everybody can fight the champion, so people have to have secondary storylines and strong storylines for the secondary titles. It's just I like this idea. I think Jay versus Gunther is a great booking. They have to do something with Lashley on SmackDown. Yeah, I think Lashley might win this tournament. I do. So then where do we go from there? 6 out of 10. Riho looks like she... Oh, I shouldn't have clicked on that. Jimmy versus Jay Intercontinental title match. Title Mania ladder match. Yeah, I think if we get to Rumble and somehow, they cross paths, and I mean, if it was for the IC belt, I think they'd tear it down. I honestly think that, Jimmy and Jay sometimes get overlooked for what they have done in this industry. Two of the best tag team wrestlers of all time. I think Jay's done better as a solo than Jimmy has, but Jimmy's no slouch. Jimmy gives you a good match every day of the week, and I think put them in against each other, it's money. If there's a belt in the middle, why not? 5 out of 10. 100 out of 10. All right. Drugs are bad. I'm excited for Eddie versus Andrade. I'm not really. I love them both. I'm a big fan of Andrade. I'm looking forward to when he goes back to WWE to hang out with his wife. Eddie, I love. Eddie's like the heart and soul guy. But what they've done in this tournament, in this round robin, I don't love it. I'm not overly excited for this match. Nobody wants to see a Wheeler Yuta. Apparently not. Not even Tony. Jay White clipped Moxley in the bad knee just as the pitcher was fading. Yes, he did. Right at the end of the night. Again, nice heel move. Right? Moxley's looking. He's been favoring the knee that he chop blocked earlier in the night. It works well for me. Roman has been holding SmackDown and the world title hostage for 3 freaking years, Ronnie. Yeah. And listen, if you go back through our archive, there was many nights that I defended it, right? It makes it special. He's the needle mover. But the company changed. The company evolved, and now you got all these needle movers, right? You got the Punks and the AJs and the Randys. All these fucking needle movers are showing up. You got to actually be there to move the needle, my friend. And I feel like the last couple times Roman Reigns returns isn't having the same impact or effect that it used to have. That's just my take. 0 to 10, no Abaddon. Well, there was technically a picture of Abaddon. Moxley loses. I'm shocked. I'm so happy Moxley lost. And again, Tony Khan, anytime you can make me eat my words, I will publicly say congratulations. And he did it this time. Moxley has been pretty much unbeatable, doesn't sell shit, and he actually took an L tonight. Karrion Kross and AOP versus Hurt Business. Possibly. Hold on tight. I want Karrion Kross involved in some other stuff too. But Karrion Kross, again, a guy that's got to find his spot and make it count. I'm doing AJ versus KO at Mania. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm curious to see how we get there, but I'd be all for it. 2 guys I'm a big fan of. 7 out of 10, 4.6 out of 10. But TNA is WWE 2.0 since Scott D'Amore said we're back at Bound for Glory. All right. I'll take your word for it. 7 out of 10. Christian went from, you guys are just arguing amongst yourselves. I'm getting ready. So I'm going to call last call, folks. I know we got about 50 people hanging out, but I'm going to pack it in for tonight. I will remind everybody we are back tomorrow for Impact Wrestling. It's going to be a fun one. Ringsider Anthony is going to be here with a surprise guest or 2. And we're going to get into that. It's going to be a year in review. So our Thursday nights get a little chatty. So be here for that one. It's going to be fun. Talk about all the wrestling, but we'll get a look back at 2023 and technically the final year of Impact Wrestling. So tune into that. Friday, the Tag Team Champions are back for the doubleheader, Rampage, SmackDown. Saturday, a pretty big collision setting up. The return of Thunder Rosa, Claudio versus Daniel Bryan, and so much more. So again, make sure you hit like, subscribe, be a part of the family, be a part of the shows. We appreciate it. And if we don't talk again, make sure you have a wonderful holiday. What else we got before I go? Busted Open Award sounds dirty. You shouldn't have clicked, but it made you laugh. Yeah, and again, just because I chuckled doesn't mean it's appropriate. But no, you're not wrong. You caught me. Gunther versus Ilya at Mania is money. Give that time. I think there's going to be some time there. I think Ilya, I don't know what the fuck we're doing with this Ridge Holland thing. We got to figure that out so I can form a full opinion of the whole situation. But eventually we're going to get Gunther and Ilya, I imagine. Why would you not? Triple H knows what they can do. He's witnessed what they could do. He's booked what they've done. Boston, even KJ agreed. That is where they all came to AEW from. That is facts. I don't know what I agreed with, and I will not support until I know otherwise. I just told you that Christian didn't go from WWE to AEW. So how is that facts? Yeah, Christian kind of went other places first. I'm predicting Swerve versus Bryan final. I'm predicting that as well. I'm with you. Get Yuta to NXT. He might help him. I don't know if it would, but it's worth a shot. I think there's something there. He just, again, a little bit bland. Bland as fuck. Most accomplished siblings, Usos, Bellas. Why the fuck are the Bellas in that conversation? Young Bucks or Dudleys? Yeah, I mean, the Dudleys are adorable. Oh, smile mark. This question's all over the place. I love it. Yeah, we'll move on. Cena comes on after Dynamite and Nikki comes on after Raw. Everybody coming somewhere. AEW is A and MJF will lose his gold till April comes, or maybe until January, and John Moxley is incredible wrestler. All right, I think we're all getting a little long in the tooth here. KJ, did you see that Charlotte Flair got a huge contract? Yes, I did. She deserves it. It's unfortunate she's out for 9 months. I hope she's okay. I hope she's doing well. Tearing your entire knee sucks. So T's and P's to her. But she deserves the big contract, and they're going to keep her locked up for a long time. Her husband will be joining her in WWE sooner than later. KJ, what if Julia change Rosa? Got that one. Yeah, I don't see it happening, and I would be really disappointed if it did happen. Again, I don't think your former women's champion that never got beat for her belt should be involved in this shit. You are hurting your talent. You are hurting your roster. You are taking people, and again, we've seen so many people get themselves over. Wardlow, Hobbs, the Acclaimed, Thunder Rosa, and for whatever reason, this company will not push. Again, it feels so Vince McMahon-ish. Oh, you got yourself over? Fuck you, I'm not booking you. That's what it feels like. Hopefully it's not washed down TNA. I don't think it. I mean, it's going to be different, but I think TNA's back. It's going to. Scott D'Amore and the people at TNA are making moves. Are making moves. Listen, my partner in crime, my buddy Nick, is on the record that TNA has surpassed AEW in what it's providing. So we'll see. I mean, I think they're making moves. I think they're making noise. Have a great night. See ya. KJ, pause on all of it. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. I'm not botching that, Joe. But yeah, good night. All right, I'm done. Hey, hang tight. You never know. I gotta get down some chimneys. The cookies better be fucking delicious. Other than that, folks, on this one, I like this one. It's a slap nuts world. We just living in it. On that wonderful note, I thank everybody for joining me tonight. If you haven't seen the WrestleMania watch along, we did one today. It was a fun one. We did WrestleMania 2000. We're coming back tomorrow. We're here all week long, and we can't thank you enough. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Click all the links below. Go get yourself some merch. Go be a part of the family. And until next time, I'll see you on the flip side, folks. Good night.